Hey, Tim Holstad, singer-songwriter. Thanks for stopping. So, yes, I am back. It was an amazing journey. It was an amazing show, and I want to talk a little bit about that today, and that's going to be our post for this week, really. Um, as you know, I believe that it's all in the preparation when you have a 2-hour show like this. It was a little different than what I had anticipated. Some things were a bit different, but just about everything that I had prepared eventually got played. But I do believe that when you've got a longer show, it's all in the preparation. You really have to make sure that you do what you have to do so that you're ready. So that even when things are going south, even when things are going wrong, you're able to get it done. I've said it before. An amateur practices until they get it right. A professional practices until they can't get it wrong. And that's really what it comes down to. You've got to do the reps, you've got to put the time in. And that's obviously after you've done all you needed to do to learn how to play and get good at your craft and all these things. Well, anyhow, we got everything together, and it's about 2:45 Wednesday morning a week ago, and hit the road. I had torn everything down. All this stuff you see around me was gone and packed away, but I couldn't sleep after that. It took a long time. It was late. I was going to get about 4 hours of sleep. I just could not sleep, so I just hit the road. I did have to stop and get some rest in Minnesota, and slept at a rest stop for a little bit, and then I was okay to keep driving. And I made it to Rapid City, South Dakota that first day. Interesting. Never been in South Dakota before. It's not like Wisconsin and Minnesota, those places. Lots of water, lots of trees, few hills. South Dakota was fewer trees and less water, but it was pretty much the same until you get to the west part of the state. And weather was a bit different. Yeah, that's what they were saying. And it rained a little bit, and anyhow, stayed there. Wish I had gone a bit further because it was 842 miles that first day. I had to do over 1,000 the second day to make Boise, Idaho. But yeah, I had to go through Wyoming a little bit. The hills are starting to get bigger. Then you get into Montana, and that's when you start to see the mountains, and it was really, really picturesque, really beautiful. And went through Idaho, same thing. You know, it's like on your 360, you turn around, somewhere there were always mountains. It was just really breathtakingly beautiful. And I made it to Boise when it's dark. This is Thursday night, and I'd been driving all day just to get that far, but made it. And so it's like, okay, I'm not going to be in trouble for the show. I think I should make it now. So the next day, I take off early again because I've still got to drive across Oregon, basically. And I found that the Oregonians are rather blasé about their signage. I had to stumble into finding 2026 so I could take 20 across the state to Bend, Oregon, and then I was going to have to hit US 97 down south. And here I had to pull out my phone and find out how to get onto the highway. And it wasn't too far, it turned out, so it worked out, got on, and now you're starting to run into these national forests, and it was just really something. And it was just really beautiful like that, all the way into Trail, Oregon, where I was going to be staying. And I called my hosts, and we got to the venue in enough time, got everything set up. I was just exhausted, though. I needed somebody else to tell me, hey, you're all set, your monitor is off, that's why you can't hear it. And then there was the little Tascam recorder I brought to record the show. I couldn't get it working, and the same guy helped me, and he's like, you know, I'm saying, we can't do this, I gotta get going. He's like, no, wait a minute, I'm almost there, and he got it. And so started only about 10 minutes late, and got a good chunk of the songs done, and then they wanted to make some remarks, the organizers, and so had to step down a bit and just let them do that, and then they asked me to play longer, and so I ended up getting most of the songs in. I don't think it was my best show. I mean, let's put it this way. I put over 5,000 miles on my SUV for this. I changed the oil before I left, and as soon as I got back, I had to change it. It was that many miles, and I was just really tired, so it wasn't my best show. And so I'm thinking, this is kind of a dud, but I was wrong. People bought, well, I've sold a lot of CDs, and just about everybody I sold CDs to, it was like 11 sets. They all bought the complete set, and I gave one away to somebody who had really helped me nutritionally, and I gave the second CD to the one party who didn't just outright buy it, just because that was someone else that had helped me quite a bit as well. So got through it. This was about as good as I could have asked for, really. All the results, people that bought the CDs had no problem giving emails, so I can send out a Zoom link. I want to get to where I've got my own Zoom account, and then I can do a monthly salon where I can get out into the call, if you will, this Zoom thing, and just basically talk like I'm doing now, and then do like a 3-4 song coffee shop set, and then take questions from the audience if they have something, and that should fill up an hour, and just do that once a month. So they were all game to do this, and so it's another step in the journey. It's something further I can take. So it, like I say, I couldn't have asked for a better result as it turned out. And I thought Friday night I'm kind of discouraged because I really didn't feel I played my best, and I was just really tired, and the audience response was there, it was good, but as time went on, people were getting onto their own things. It wasn't like I was holding them, it seemed, but I turned out I was wrong. So it was a good thing. It was a good trip to have made. Then Sunday, the event's done. I headed out late that night trying to make Bend, Oregon, and I got there, except I couldn't find a hotel. I'd remembered seeing hotels when I was driving in, but I couldn't find one now. So I tried to sleep in the vehicle, couldn't really do it very well, so I went on a little further, didn't quite reach Burns, found another rest area, and finally was able to fall asleep for a little bit there. And so then this would have been Monday. Yeah, Monday morning. And I'm trying to get going, get out there, and it was a long, long trip. I tried to then get to Cheyenne, Wyoming is where I was shooting for. I didn't make it that far. I got as far as Rawlins, Wyoming, and I was just too tired to drive at that point, so I stopped, and the hotel desk clerk was like, yeah, it's probably just as well you didn't try and go any further. They've already got 4 inches of snow up in Laramie, and it's really bad up there. Oh, okay. So I went to sleep, got up the next day, and I'm driving, and needless to say, they closed I-80. I was thinking I'd just backtrack, but my uncles had called, and one of them was a truck driver, and they're thinking I-80 will be faster, and maybe it would have if the snow hadn't been there. So as it was, I-80's closed. I had to double back, it was US 287 north up to Casper, Wyoming, where I could hit I-25, and then take that over to State 267, I think it was now, and diagonalize that back into I-80, and finally I was moving on. So I got as far as Council Bluffs, Iowa, and I had to ask directions because I couldn't find a hotel either there. But They directed me to one, so that's where I stopped. And it was good because, again, I couldn't drive any further. I was just too tired. So the next day, get up bright and early and head out. And I stopped by my uncle's on the way, and I had a couple of pictures of their brother, my birth father, from Mom's memorial service. One of the aunts had them, and I made a couple copies so each of my uncles would have one. And I gave that to them, you know, and crashed there for a little bit because, again, I was just so tired. But they let me sleep for about an hour, and off I went. And I got back in town a little after 7:30. I was going to go and change the oil right away, but it was already closed, so I had to get that the next day. But yeah, a few days later, we've got everything set up and everything, and I had to do a little performance on our Zoom call, the arts call that we do for the book club I'm in, because the co-host was going to do things with family for Mother's Day. Me, not so much, especially this year. So got those done, and here we are, back. It was an amazing trip. I wish I'd had more time to take more pictures. It was a great thing to be able to bring it off. I do have a recording of the show, and that was cool. Never tried to do that before. I'm thinking about seeing 7 new states, all the mountains, all the things that I would have loved to have stopped and seen but just didn't have time. I had to end up crossing the Continental Divide 5 times over this trip because of the backtracking I had to do because of the snow. But got through. The vehicle ran like a champ. It's a good thing to have done. Now it's on to the next adventure, but you got to keep going, right? And I'll make sure to put the free song link in the video. If you respond to that, that's another way to get in contact. So maybe if you are interested in this Zoom, we can connect that way. So I'll make sure it's in the description, and we'll wrap this up for now. But it's done. It was good. It went well. I really couldn't have asked for much better. You're not going to play your best after you've been driving thousands of miles. It held together, and the people were satisfied. So I can't be a perfectionist and just have to be grateful, and so I am. But listen, you take it easy. We will talk in the next one. Keep plugging. Go for your dreams. Life is meant to be lived, not just thought about. Just go for it. Take care. We'll talk soon.